We are back live. I had a meeting and then just completely zoned out for half an hour doing I don't know what, Twitter and... Oh no, wait. I wrote a reply to a reviewer. Yeah, okay, I was doing something productive. Good. Let's switch this to... Did I lose a shadow duel? I'm freaking disappearing here. Hold on. Freaking banished to the shadow realm. Let me, I like this. Welcome back. Hey, Linky. Oh, no, I'm still like freaking. Okay, that's pretty good. Whew, I gotta say, this thing right here, I'm very excited about this. This is awesome. This has got to be like some of the most... I don't know which was the more degenerate gaming, this or RuneScape. It's kind of a toss-up. I mean, what's more degenerate? Like, frickin', like, sweating hard raids on day one? Or, like, playing a game on 6 different clients at the same time? I don't know. Of course I get an actual, like, legitimate comment while I'm doing something silly. Welcome. PhD was inspiring. Thank you. I've got another cool video coming out soon. I've got like 20 hours of editing to do, but I think I've got all the footage now unless I decide to re-record stuff. I think it'll be better than my thesis defense. I really do. It's going to be a lot more subjective. It's a lot more about like how Puffer's positioned in RL and like all the problems that I see. But I think people are gonna. I think it's gonna get people talking. I think it will be out as soon as I can, do 20 hours of editing. So, let's see here. We just figured out some silly build things, right? Wasn't that bad, maybe? And I guess now the idea is going to be to go look at the code and see what we can do. Let me look at the stack. I guess I'll just spend a little time sort of thinking out loud here. Because I was trying to do something cool with this. So, right here we have a bajillion different versions of Snake. And the first one that I built is csnake.pyx, right? So this is a Python implementation of Snake. It's 230 lines. And then we have, in order for this to work, there's also snake.py, which binds this. It's 216 lines, and it includes the renderer. 450 lines or so. And then there is snake.h, which is 417 lines, but includes both the renderer and neural network forward pass in raw C. This one's quite nice. And in order to make this work, there's a little bit more to it, but I don't think it's that bad. There's snake pyx, 83 lines. I think I'd like to figure out how to reduce the size of this binding. Like, there's some weird redeclarations and stuff. It's basically a glorified header file, which is obnoxious considering I already have one. But this gets all of your data from Python into C without having to do weird, like, PyObject API stuff. And then there is csnake.py, which is our wrapper here. If I look at render, Raylib client. So I have to strip, I think what I got to do now is I have to strip all the extra code out of this, so we're just using the C. And then I have to see how little code we're left with. And then we'll go from there. So we'll basically be able to compare the Python Cython code to the Python C with a little bit of Cython glue code. And we'll see how that looks. I'm not entirely sure how I would do multiple different files with different environments and stuff. I think environments have to have their own file at the very least. Maybe there'll be like a pufferlib.c, which is like shared stuff. Yeah, we'll have to think about that. Check something. Oops. Yeah, check on this. All right, so reset append C snake. So you have self.client.render. How do we replace this? Let's say Raylib. I think Raylib is the mode, right? I kind of did that guy. So I got it to compile, I think, and run. But for whatever reason, maybe you know this issue. So when I use an extension like capital E extension, it will take the compiled file and it'll put it in the root of the project. But when I just inline a string and just like put a single Cython file, it'll build it alongside the original source file. So basically, with the extension, like you have to import it from the source. You can't maintain the same hierarchy, and I don't know why that is. Maybe you know. Nope. Check just yeah. All right. That's what I figured. I don't think it's Cython. It's setup tools. And they surprisingly really don't have that good of documentation. Oops. Oops, I don't need to rebuild, do I? Did you see the new M's people have been posting in Puffer? They're pretty awesome. Okay, this is human client. Raylib client. Oh shoot, look at this. So it's not... It does actually expand, it just doesn't resize, I guess. But this is the correct client running in C. So we'll have to add some options to this, but that's really sweet, isn't it? This runs in pure C. We'll have to figure out a few other of the render modes. Use the restroom real quick. I'll be right back. And then I want to figure out how small we can get this file to be. I think it could be pretty easy. I'll be right back. Have you compiled with -O's? I think it's, yeah, the C I compiled, I think, with some options. Python just adds those, though. It's kind of weird. It'll just add a bunch of -O's. Holy exhaustion. Oh, man. Decrease the binary size. Oh, -OS. No. I thought you meant -O like apostrophe S. Like it'll do 01, 02, 03. Wrong flag. This one we don't need anymore, right? Hmm. I'm trying to think what I want to actually trim here. Frankly, pretty tough to do this at this point. Let me think. So there are 4 render modes. These could all very easily be ported to C, couldn't they? And then this thing would be very thin. That'd be kind of nice. I kind of like that as an idea. Let me look at let me look at this. Okay, so the render function right now doesn't have the actions on it. Yeah. And it's actually, if I think about it, it's better to not port the it's better to really only have one of the renderers in C, which is going to be like whichever one will be used for web demos, right? Because The rest of them you want to be able to just be drop in with Python just like you have them here. Yeah. The rest of them work. The rest of them should work, right? And like technically, if I do like this, what happens? So if I render, this is the raylib renderer in Python, which is pretty cool actually. This is like much better featured, right, than the C one. Interesting. We'll have to reconsider a little bit what code needs to live where. I am quite happy to have resolved the compilation thing, though. Let me see. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to do on this tonight, or if I'm kind of happy that this works, and I just want to like spend a couple hours editing, get some food, and go to bed. That might be the smarter thing to do. Yeah, because this basically, at this point, this all works, and it's just going to be like a matter of me being fresh and slowly refactoring things around until the right code lives in C, the right code lives in Python, and there's very little structure, like required structure or redundancy or any of those things. And then from there, I think it'll be pretty easy to apply stuff to other areas. The one other thing that I have to do that maybe I should stream because it would be a little more interesting, I need to figure out a way to handle multi-dimensional arrays in C. So technically you can make like a matrix class, or not a class, or like a matrix struct or like a tensor struct, and that can have width, like this, that can have dimensions, and then you can have that thing be indexed easily enough. It's a little awkward because I think it's hard to handle multiple data types, so I'll have to do a bit of research on how to handle that. But I think that's about it. So yeah, quiet evening anyways. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go edit on the video for a couple hours just so we see if I can make some progress towards that. And then I'll see if I can stream a bit tomorrow. Hopefully while I'm fresh, I'll get a little bit done on this maybe. Or on one of the other M's if viewers have stuff to add there. But really, I just want to get this video done this week so it'll be behind me. And we can start like really getting back into dev mode. I find it very hard to context switch between like creative, like social endeavors, like a presentation and code. So I think while I'm still mainly thinking about that video, I'm going to spend more time getting that done, and then hopefully towards the end of the week it'll just be shipped, and we'll be able to get back to this stuff. So thanks everyone for tuning in, and I will be back tomorrow.